What's good, family? Welcome back to Relationship Realities. I am your host, Texas Brown Sugar. And here we are all about relationships. We dig deep. Oh, we have fun, laugh a little bit, all so that we can have a very healthy relationship. Come on in the chat. Let me know where you are watching from tonight. We have some very interesting topics. I am amazed every day. I don't know what's going on in the world, but I still seem to be amazed at a lot of the stuff that's going on today. I'm not going to belabor. I'm going to go ahead and before we start, I want to go ahead and let you guys know at texasbrwnsugar.com/shop, we do have our Black History merch. I got mine on today. We have our Black History merch on sale 30% off this week and next week. So make sure you start off the month right with a little apparel. TexasBrownSugar.com, 30% off. Make sure you cop you one. Okay. Ladies and gents, tonight we're going to start off with a very interesting take on provision. That's all I'll say. Let's take a look and see what this young man has to say.
33. And
are you single?
Nah, married.
How long have you been married?
Since 2017.
So being married 8 years, how do you keep a relationship together that long?
Pay 100% of everything.
So it's a man's job to be a provider.
100%. You ain't a man if you're not a provider.
What gave you that mentality?
Man, I've been had it since I was young. I mean, shoot, if you look at the granddaddies and everything, they was taking care of the bills, and guess what? They was with grandma for the longest. These dudes be in relationships in and out because they not paying 100% of everything. That's the reason why they in washing machine ass relationships.
But does your wife work?
No. Why would I want to do that? Think about it. If your woman worked, that means she pretty much listening to two men. He telling her what to dress, what time to show up, what time to go home. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. She got one man and one man only, so she ain't finna work.
But God forbid something happened to you and you lost everything. How would you expect her to be able to, take care of things?
You're always supposed to look for a capable woman. If she's capable of handling things, that's the woman you want to take care of because she was handling business with or without you regardless.
Y'all, he said men need to be 100% provider. That is what has made his marriage last, I believe, what he said, 17 years. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that? Specifically, what are your thoughts about his statement that you ain't a man if you're not a provider? I was a bit torn about this video. One, what if you are in a situation where that's not the case, where the man has a job, but the woman is making more than him? Is the expectation once you all get married that he still be the sole provider and she works from home? What does that look like when the woman is making more? Then my next question is, how important is financial provision in a marriage? It makes it seem, based off of just what we saw, that he's putting a lot of emphasis on financial provision. Now, I believe that is a something that needs to be considered. Do I believe it's the most important? No, because there are so many other factors that women we really need to look at before we speak on finances. One of them being his is he providing any spiritual provision, being that he is the head of the household? Because if there's no spiritual provision, he's not leading because there's lack of wisdom, knowledge, because he's lacking the spiritual provision, which in turn is a spiritual providing spiritual provision and understanding his role as a husband. You now have to consider being a leader, being a laborer, and financial provision, I think, rolls up into being a leader, being a good leader of your household, being a manager. Now, I also looked in the comments section of the video, and it was many women saying, "Great job. You know, where do you have a brother or a friend who thinks like this?" And I wholeheartedly get it. Women, we want to be taken care of. But what I think a lot of ladies fail to realize is that if he will be the sole provider, are you prepared to manage the household? I don't think a lot of women are. Managing a household as your full time job is a lot of work. A lot of women get caught up when they are managing the household full time, get caught up in worldly things, and a lot of times want that job. They get or sometimes get this feeling that there is there's no purpose, that there's a lack of, and it's not as fulfilling as if they were to go to corporate America. Yes, we all have this dream that the husband wants to go and make, all the money and we stay at home. But I really don't believe those that really want it are not mentally prepared to manage the household full time. And then I wonder, what other provisions do men need to be that are equally important? Again, I said spiritual provision. And that just rolls up into, the leadership rolls up into being having spiritual provision. Yeah, he has to love you like the church. I think there's so many other aspects that society overlooks. All they see is money, money, money. What if that man is not a good steward of his money? What then? And then the statement of he doesn't want his woman to work for or have to report to another man. That roll a little red flag went up for me. And I'm wondering, is there a control issue? I understand that you want your family to be taken care of. But again, as the gentleman indicated, God forbid something happens. What are you going to do? And he had a wonderful response. And I think this is definitely the correct answer. You need to be with someone who can pick everything up and help. You need a helpmate. And just sitting at home and not being able to assist in any kind of way is not the answer. So I I was a little bit thrown off by that last comment. It kind of threw a red flag. I don't know. Did y'all think it was a red flag? I'm like, flag on the play. Let me know in the comments. Do you think finances are the most important aspect of a marriage? L- Not just a marriage, but long term marriage. Let me know in the chat. Moving on to our next topic. Hmm. I thought this was a very, very interesting subject. I came across to this video on YouTube and I immediately had to react. Um, I'm gonna let y'all take a look at it and you let me know what your initial thoughts are.
How do you feel about these women, right? We're gonna get a lot of backlash for this. I'm just gonna put this disclaimer out there now, right? How do you feel about these women who become 35, 40, 45, 50, right? And they get back out here in the dating world and they tell these men that they're trying to date that they want these men to wait till marriage to have sex with them.
You can't date somebody. Sex is a part of dating. I don't feel like you can go into dating someone and expecting them to spend money on you, to take you on dates, to take you on trips and things like that, but you don't want to share your body because that's a part of it. If a man's end goal, regardless of what his intentions are with you, he wants to fuck you, period. So you can't expect the perks of dating, but you don't want to have sex. I think that I'm all for it. If you want to, I have went through
There's so much to unpack in that video. Let me first start off and say that the problem is not at that age whether or not you want to have relations or you want to give it up. Most of the time, and I'm not saying all the time, most of the time at that age, it is the woman's expectations that have prevented her from being married. Now, do I agree with the young lady that you need to be ready to put out? No, absolutely not. Because then the relationship becomes transactional. You take me out on a date, I give you something. That's a transaction. Relationships are not transactional. They're not. And for someone to say that you have to put out because that's what men want, I think is looking at the relationship at a different point of view. If you are really truly wanting a long-term relationship, mind you, again, long-term relationship, dating is the getting to know process. Now, I know a lot of you are like, okay, well, having relations is getting to know the person. I tend to disagree. I wholeheartedly believe that that portion of a relationship is groomed and is explored after marriage, that whether or not you are compatible in that area is not what will determine whether or not you marry a person. If that is, I implore you to rethink your priorities, because that lets me know that relations is a priority for you, which in turn could be an issue. Acts of that nature are teachable. And I think more than anything, and what a lot of people don't do, is they're not putting enough emphasis on the spiritual, on the mental wellness, health of that significant other. I think that society, social media has put a lot of emphasis on, we need to be out there. We need to enjoy giving ourselves away for dates. We are women in 2025, and we need to be free because men can do it, we can do it. So let's go and do it. Ladies, that will not get you a long-term relationship. We have had a couple of episodes where the gentlemen on the show have expressed that they usually know right away whether or not this person is someone they put in the marriage category or not. And most of the time, that's before you even give it up. So, the whole concept of having relations while in the dating phase, when you are at that age, I don't agree with. Another question that I thought about, and I want y'all to comment in the chat. Can a relationship thrive without it, without having relations, especially when you're at the age of 40 or 35, as the young lady indicated? I wholeheartedly believe, but by that time, whether you have, never been married, you have been divorced, you know what you want. There's no question, you more than likely have found yourself. You know who you are, you know what you want. And at that stage, you should be dating with purpose, dating with intent. So the question, are you dating with intent? Are you dating with purpose? And if not, to each his own, but at least be upfront and forward with the people. In the same way, if you are dating with intent, let the people know, hey, I am looking for a long-term relationship. I want to get to know who you are spiritually and mentally. I am not ready to engage on the physical side. Will that be a problem? No? All right. Let's get this thing going. Ladies and gents, we have to be open. I am surprised by the lack of communication skills that a lot of people have. And communication is key. If you want a successful, healthy relationship, you've got to be open. Got to be open. Let me know in the comment section, how would you respond to someone who views relations as a must in any relationship? Me, I'm out. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great year. See you on the flip side. It's not for me. At least I didn't waste my time getting to know you. We were up front. We were forward. But I I just thought that this is the advice that a lot of these young women are getting. This is the advice that those who were married and previously are divorced and are trying to identify what it's like to be in this modern dating world. This is the advice that they're getting. I disagree. I don't think you have to give it up to have a successful relationship. It's not for everybody. I get that. But I don't think we need to tell people that they need to engage in a transactional relationship, because you're ultimately setting the relationship up for failure because you're basing it solely on transactions. That what happens when that person is no longer able to provide and there is no exchange, no transactions to be made? What happens in the relationship then? I know. Y'all let me know. Am I wrong? Oh, I can't believe that this is the advice that people are out here giving. Y'all have to be careful who y'all listen to. And yes, they are married. But I think you need to look at the bigger picture here. Uh let's be careful. Moving on to our next topic for the evening. Oh, is public humiliation acceptable? I'm sure y'all probably have seen, and I feel so sorry for this young lady. Um, so I'm share with you this article that, let's see if I can get it up here. This article I read that troubled me a little bit, and it gave me the whole Cardi B Offset vibes. So Bossip.com wrote this article indicating that Anasa, am I saying her name correctly? Matt Barnes's fiance is what appears in her social media to be her identifying that or suggesting that her fiance is cheating with 8, yes, ladies, 8 different men. The post is now deleted, but she listed the names of the 8 women that she is accusing Barnes cheating with. She also put a post and indicated that a quote that said, "I once loved a MA," I think she meant man, "so much that I was fixing him while he was breaking me." I I hate to hear that any of this is going on, but my question is public humiliation, oh, I didn't speak, humiliation acceptable for revenge, or is there a better way? I know the first thing that most people want to do when they have been cheated on is probably embarrass the person. Because let's be honest, the person that is doing the cheating, 9 times out of 10, would probably be embarrassed if it got out that they were cheating. I believe her intention was to hurt him, to embarrass him. And maybe not. Maybe it was to hurt and embarrass the 8 women. It could be both. But I think we have normalized humiliation in public. Social media has given us a platform where it is easy and a lot of times acceptable to humiliate others in such a public way. Y'all have heard me say it before. I will say it again. Some things just need to be private. And I know with celebrities, that is like a thin line, a gray area. What is private versus what is public? The audience, your fans, may be accustomed to you sharing so much that when you want to, or when you decide that a topic or that a situation or event is private and you don't share with the public, it's a problem with your fans because they're like, you shared everything else. But I think in this situation, it just makes it uglier, dirtier. Um, and unfortunately, I believe that this public exposure does not help her brand per se. That by exposing him and all the other women, many people will look at that and call her messy, call her hood, ghetto, when this could have been addressed privately. Unfortunately, not much is probably going to be said about the gentleman. As you can clearly see, the article is speaking more about what she did versus what he did. Do you think that his brand it will be tarnished from this article? Absolutely not. That's why you gotta, what is it? Stop, drop, and roll. In situations like this, you need to stop, breathe, and think. Let's not be so reactive, because now she's hurt her brand. What companies will want to do business with her, knowing that if there is any sort of discourse between her and the brand, she just might go off on social media. I know she was probably hurt when she found out all this information. How much hurt she was, I don't know, because they've been on a roller coaster ride of a relationship since day one. They've been on again, off again since what, college? This is not their first rodeo. But I think we need to be more careful about how we put ourselves out there or our significant other out there. Yes, it may seem like a good idea in the moment. Long term, you got to think about your brand. You have to think about you. What perception does that bring upon you? Unfortunately, ladies, not a good look for us. And we just got to be more cautious. I I don't know. What would you do if you found out? Would you put your significant other on blast? I mean, she did quickly delete the posts, but you got people that will take screenshots in a heartbeat. Nothing gets past them. Let me know. I enjoyed the conversation tonight. Make sure, again, you check out texasbrwnsugar.com, where you can find all things relationship reality. We've got blog posts, we've got ebooks, we've got apparel. Hit me up, send me a message. Let me know you watching. Maybe we can hang out. I love you guys. I wish you nothing but the best. Have a great weekend, very productive, and I will see y'all next week.